So, I guess this question should be for them. Super Bowl is coming. How many niggas finna get robbed over the next 2 weeks? Welcome to another episode of Live at the motherfucking at the family barbecue. What's happening?
Hey.
Happy New Year's to all. It's our first episode back, and I figured, there's no better day to start than Black History Month.
Hey.
How you been doing, man? Since the last time we spoke, you've had a birthday.
Damn.
I've had a birthday. It's been New Year's. What's been going on? How's the first month? Niggas definitely had COVID.
Started the New Year's off with COVID, but it was gone in time for my birthday and in time for Mom's birthday, so that was nice. I cannot complain. Did my first speaking role this past weekend, so I'm kind of on cloud nine,
How was the speaking role? How was that? Like, what does that feeling feel like when you've been working for X amount of years to get this speaking role that you talked about? Not this one specifically, but just in general, to get a speaking role, and it finally comes through. What is that feeling like?
Literally probably the best feeling in the world. Like, it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, because of course with acting, 9 times out of 10 you're on set for a long time. I think each day we shot, it was at least 12 hours or more, depending on the scene and stuff. So we're on set for a good amount of time. But I said that to say that me having that speaking role, I could have been on set for 24 hours and I wouldn't have cared. It just made me feel that I'm that girl. Out of all the people that auditioned, out of all the things that got sent in, out of all the people they saw something in me, and everybody that they chose that day could say the same thing, it's there was something about me that they were we want you. And that was
It's
nice.
a great feeling.
Yeah, because I've been at it 3 years, probably. Going on 3 years acting.
If you had to pick, does that speak more so to the environment that they created on set and the, great movie, or you're fit for the movie? Mm-hmm. Or do you think it speaks more towards, damn, this is really what I'm supposed to be doing. I finally got it, and this is what it feels like. This is the feel. Like you said, you could have worked there for 24 hours. Mm-hmm. Or is it a combination of both?
I think, wait, what was the question?
So it was as you said, it was such a great experience.
Uh-huh.
And that breakthrough, breakthrough.
What made it such a good experience?
Yeah, was it the environment and the movie and the role? Or is it you really found out? Was this the moment you really found out this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
I think I knew that this was what I was supposed to be doing before the speaking role, you know what I mean? Because everything up until this point has been non-speaking roles, but I've still been on set, I've still been around the main people, I've still, had the full days, mm-hmm. just not speaking. So even me being on set for those things, I still knew this was exactly what I wanted to do. So I already knew that, but I think that it was just perfect timing. I think God aligned it for me to have this role at this time. Everything happened how it was supposed to for a reason. Because even the character, she's just not ditzy, but just very cutesy, just loves her friends, just wants everybody to have a good time. And I feel me, Imani aligned with the character a lot, and I feel that's pretty awesome for my first speaking role, because it's just it's a little nerve-wracking. So when you could just fully be yourself, and you don't have to it takes away a little bit of the but yeah, I just think it was just the crew amazing, the cast amazing, my character a lot, it was just
you would make me shed a thug tear.
Don't quit your dreams, ladies and gentlemen, don't quit.
No, I think that's the great thing about going forward is it could be the worst run you might think you could be having, a week, months, a year, And then when that one thing happens, it's like, okay, this is worth it. I'm not all the way there yet, but it's definitely worth it. And I think that's why I always preach, it's like persistence. Like if you love it, stick with it, period. Like just for that feeling that you just got. And you know, just imagine what it's gonna be like, you know, the next step up the ladder. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we all fighting for, and whatever our passions are. It's like, you know, can I get to that next high point?
Hell yeah.
Damn. I was gonna talk about Black History Month. I think we should say the Black History Month for the end.
We can.
All right, but shout out to Black History Month.
But shout out, at least we acknowledge.
Shout out to all my Africans, for real.
I'm really excited for the first thing we're talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna let you just, you could lead the way.
I have been a diehard Rihanna fan for I don't know how long. Like I literally cut my hair in high school based off her haircut. Like chopped all my hair off. Okay.
I remember that phase.
You remember that? Like it's been real for a long time. And news broke yesterday that my girl is pregnant. Ooh.
Me and the rest of the fellas around the world it was a sad day for us.
Oh, shut up.
No. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
There has to be some type of like a word for people who like are genuinely happy for people that like they don't know and like don't even know they exist.
It's called a stan.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm so excited for her. I'm so happy for her. And also too, ladies, like Rihanna has you know, she's pregnant, she's having a baby, so it is now okay for the rest of us to.
Where did that come from? Because I've been seeing everybody post that Rihanna had a baby, now it's cool. Like we go do like, what's this community like movement towards getting pregnant now that Rihanna's having a baby? I'm confused.
I mean, honestly, I was like halfway joking because I've been seeing it too. That's why I said it. I've been seeing it too. But I mean, I just feel like, I think for me, it's kind of just like the age thing because I think Rihanna's gonna be like 34 this month.
Oh, her birthday's in February.
Yeah, her birthday's in February. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna be 34 this month. And then for me, I just feel like there's just such a like stupid like stigma around like women like having babies like before 30 and oh my god, like you're gonna die. So I'm just happy like that she is happy and healthy and like living her like you just can't like base your pregnancy or when you want to do like you can't rush or plan things like that. And I absolutely think she did not because I even think she dated A$AP Rocky like a while ago and I think they broke up and both dated other people. Yeah, they broke up, dated other people, and then got back together, and then now they're, you know, bringing a child into the world. So that clearly wasn't planned. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I think when I say that, like, okay, Rihanna did it, so it's fine, guys. Like, I'm just talking about, like, all right, let's shut up with the age stuff. Like, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
You know, moments of silence are usually for sad times. So why don't we have a moment of respect for some black love real quick.
For some black love.
Black love. Shout out to black love.
Shout out to
black love. I agree with you though. It really looks like they're happy too, man. And like you said, I didn't know they had broke up before and got back together, but I know they was at least dating like the last couple of years, at least from what people was talking about. So that's good, man. I'm excited for him. Rocky is one of my favorite artists, is like as far as like new people and stuff, like his fashion sense and you know things like that. They said he think he the pretty nigga in the relationship. He the pretty one.
I can see him thinking that. I can see.
That's his brand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just you know, he's confident.
Hey, look, so here's my question. So with that being said, she's pregnant now. I'm pretty sure they might be married already. They might be getting ready to get married. Who knows? Does that mean it's over for y'all? Like, there's no more Rihanna music coming out? Like, it's...
I'm gonna check yes in that box. Like, I just feel like I just don't think she cares. Like, I just don't think she cares.
When did her last one come out?
I think I saw it was like 6 or 7 years ago.
Damn. Because I was about to say, I think she's going to step into like the Sade phase of her career, where she starts dropping albums maybe like 5, 6, 7 years apart from each other. But if it's already been 7 years, yeah.
And she's having the baby this year? No.
So it might be a good... 2028, y'all get an album.
She's gonna make it like a 10-year. It's been a decade since my last one, so let me just.
Hey, A$AP Rocky finna be happy as shit in his music, though. It's a beautiful couple, like you said.
They're just both very attractive.
So, this show is shot by, Los Angeles natives. Shout out to Hidden Jules. One time.
Squad.
Shout out to y'all. So, I guess this question should be for them. Super Bowl is coming. How many niggas finna get robbed over the next 2 weeks?
Dang.
Wait a minute.
I didn't know he was gonna say that.
No, I'm just playing. But I heard Game and them, they was talking, the crime and stuff. Everybody been getting robbed, like, they've been saying, like, the last few months and stuff like that. So, who was it? I think it was Game, G-Perico, a lot of them was saying, like, yeah, don't come to LA. It was like, the Super Bowl weekend, man, everybody come to LA now. So be safe, ladies and gentlemen.
When was the last Super Bowl here?
It's been a long time. I think they said it was like maybe the 80s or something like that. Because they just brought the NFL back here. Because they usually host it at NFL stadiums. So it's pretty cool for them though. I'm going to be interested to see with all this media attention here, because there's going to be everything. Matter of fact, that's what I meant to say too. So they're setting up a Super Bowl experience right down the street from us at the Los Angeles Convention Center for everybody who wants to enjoy the Super Bowl, because those tickets are going to be about $10,000 a pop. You can do the Super Bowl experience at the Los Angeles Convention Center for $20 or $40. So you can still feel important and a part of the weekend. So that should be fun. I'm sure there'll be a lot of celebrities there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see with all the attention coming here, the parties and, media and everything, how the homeless situation is put on display. Like, because we are dealt with, because Gavin Newsom, the governor, he was here last Sunday for the game, and I was like, I can only imagine. Because they were saying, like, he hadn't been down here to check on, like, the homeless situation, how crazy it's been, like, really since the pandemic started, because that's when they said it really started getting bad. He hadn't been down here since then. So it's kind of interesting to see him down here for the Super Bowl last week. But I think he had got here earlier in the week, because I'm not sure if you heard, but I think I told you, but who was it? She was a grad student for UCLA who died. She got killed by a homeless person. This all happened within the last 2 weeks.
I don't think I knew that.
So she was a grad student. She was working at a furniture store on La Brea.
Oh, I did see. I saw that, but
yeah, she died. And then there was a lady not too far from us. She was a 70-year-old woman at the bus station waiting to go to work. She was a nurse. And she got punched by some homeless person, and she ended up dying. So it was like two big events, I guess that I would say, that happened. And everybody was like, okay, now he's coming down here. It's like, wait for people to die, from this. You got these people dealing with mental health issues and things like that, and you haven't been down here since.
Right.
Or figured out a real plan to deal with it. So now with arguably one of the biggest American holidays, the Super Bowl, I'm very interested to see how that's handled.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, because it's been bad for a while. We've been here for almost 2 years downtown, and it's been, just what we've seen, it's been pretty bad, so.
It has. And it has to change. Because it's so crazy going everywhere else. Like, I was just in DC for the last 5 days. Like, they got homeless people, but they don't got homeless people. It's like, there don't be nobody outside like that. Like, the tents, the way we got it here is just, incredible. Granted, with the weather and stuff like that, you can't be homeless out there like that. So, but it's just the mass number of people. Even during the daytime when it's not cold out, it's you could tell the numbers not equal at all. So it's pretty crazy. So yeah, like I said, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
So let's go. Let's get into another person. I think she is the host of the. Someone told me Whoopi Goldberg is a top 5 female actress of all time. How do you feel about that?
No.
No, I didn't know how many people was really ready to argue me down about this. It wasn't a lot of people, but it was two friends of mine. It was like, yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, top 5 female actress all time. I was like,
top 5. I mean, teach their own.
I think she's good, but when I think of like the top 5 actresses of all time, I don't know who you put in there. I'm definitely putting Angela Bassett in there.
Angela Bassett, Meryl Streep for me.
Oh yeah, Meryl for sure.
She's dope.
Viola top 5?
I actually would put Viola. Yeah.
Viola top
5. What's that leave? 2? I have to think about that. I honestly have to think about that. I just know Whoopi's not in it for me. Like, no disrespect, but I just know it's not her. But I'd have to like really
but you got the
think about it.
I mean, I'm just talking about it. So you got the Tarajis of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You got I forgot who's the other older white lady. Not Meryl Streep.
Older white lady?
Yeah, she's an older white lady. Betty White top 5 on here. What's up? Nah.
Betty White was that
Rest in peace to Betty White.
She was that girl. Yeah, I had to think about that, but yeah, absolutely not.
Oh yeah, her and Sidney Poitier passed since the last time we had an episode. Yeah. Shout out to 2 legends.
Yeah.
Sidney and Betty White.
Poitier.
Yeah. But on to Whoopi. So Whoopi, I guess, on The View has said something about the Holocaust, where she basically said the Holocaust wasn't an issue of race. It was an issue of inhumanity amongst men. And she had basically said that was because, for some of the Jewish people and the German people, you couldn't tell the difference between them, just based off skin color. So that's what she was basing it off of.
Right.
It wasn't her saying it wasn't a crazy act, or it wasn't a, horrible, horrific experience for those people and a genocide. She just said it wasn't an issue of race. Well, she got a lot of backlash about that. She said she didn't want to fake apologize, but she did want people to know that, she didn't mean anything by it as far as, being insensitive towards it and whatnot. So, I don't know. In this situation, I feel like it's another case of, and I know we'll get to the other ones too, Joe Rogan and later, but it's another case of not being able to have a dialogue, I feel like, without being judged. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you got to be able to have open conversation with folks. If you're going to bring up the topic, you probably should have people there who can relate to the experience or are part of the experience, so you can have an open conversation. I think you got to judge people off intent and, teach it as a learning experience and learning moments. But, to jump the gun and say, don't care or, you know what I mean, she should be off the show or canceled, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's a little wild. I think we got to be able to have open dialogue about it.
Yeah.
And I think 2 things can be true. I think, in terms of what she was saying, she didn't think it was a thing of racism, but she did say it was inhumane. Which racism is inhumane, sexism is inhumane, homophobia, ageism, whatever it is, all of those acts are inhumane. So I feel like the root of what she was saying was, this is a horrible act. She just didn't think it was racism. So it's like even with something like, I don't know if y'all seen that movie Hotel Rwanda back in the day. It was like the Hutus and the Tutsis. So it's like we're all black and it's genocide, you know what I'm saying? Like some people might be able to tell straight up, okay, he Hutu, he Tutsi, but is that technically a problem with race, or is that, like they said, is inhumanity? You know what I'm saying? Because it can't just be, or it may not just be, at least from my perspective, that it's just off of skin color. It's something deeper than that.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what she was getting at with it. And, I think I respect her right to be able to say what she's saying and be corrected, you know what I'm saying? If they feel like it is a thing of race, then they should be able to come up there and defend it and say that's what it is, that's how they feel about it, that was their experience.
Yeah.
But she should also be able to say, this is what I thought it was, and, thank you for correcting me. You know what I'm saying? I guess it could be considered that. So I don't know, I just feel like it's heading to a point where you can't even be wrong, like, no more. Like, I think that's one of the beautiful things about being able to have conversation is that you got the right to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just based off your experiences, you might not have the perfect analysis of a situation, But if I'm sitting with you, you know what I'm saying, and you telling me about the plight of black models or something like that, and it's something I haven't dealt with, but I feel it's something, I may not be able to speak completely from that perspective, but having someone like you there to say, no, this is what really happens, da 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 da, you know, it just helps for a conversation. You know, it's part of education. So that's what I think.
I mean, I agree with everything you just said. I just think that I definitely don't think she meant any harm by it, and it's a teachable moment for people who identify, you know, as Jewish, because I think that was obviously the community that was kind of like probably most upset with her about it. So I definitely think it's a teachable moment, and like you said, I just don't think she meant any ill will.
Yeah.
In the statement, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel it. I'm bringing a fly swatter in here next time. This gnat, I don't know what's going on. People was eating in here or what,
get it.
But the gnat has to go. So another quick one, we'll touch on it quickly, and then we'll head to Joe Rogan. That's the one I'm kind of excited about, keep it real. But Ted Cruz, who is, I forgot his position, man, I don't know. We getting these guys mixed up. But Senator Ted Cruz, my bad, Senator Ted Cruz from Texas said in a statement, we're just paraphrasing, you guys can go check out the whole thing. But he says it's offensive and an insult that Biden pledged to nominate a black woman to the Supreme Court. That's the headline. And just to give it a little bit of context, from what I have read and what I've seen, it wasn't him saying a black woman should not be Supreme Court justice, but more so, you need to make sure it's the most qualified candidate for the job, regardless of who it is, whether it's her or if it's somebody else, yada yada yada. We're in a situation with the country where we're dealing with debt and all types, you know, it's all types of stuff we're in the air with, you know what I'm saying? So it's an important time for leadership and making the right choices. So I guess he was more so saying, if it is a black woman, make sure she's the most qualified for the job. If it's a white man, make sure he's the most qualified for the job. White woman, just make sure whoever it is, it's the most qualified person for the job. But I guess he was saying, you know, from Biden putting that out there from the onset, it makes it seem like, you know, anybody else who may be, I guess not eligible, but qualified for the job, will be looked over, even if they are maybe or could be the better person for the job. So I think he was saying it's just like a thing where, you know, maybe even if that was what he wanted to do, to give validity to the process, that's something that should be between him and the people who making the decision. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I think that's what he was saying. They tried to kind of twist it around a little bit, and you know, I agree with that, because I think it's plenty of black women who are, I mean, I'm not big on politics, but I'm sure there's plenty of black women who are more overly qualified for the job.
Agreed.
And I'm sure most of them will want to know it's because I deserved it,
Yeah.
you know, more than it was given to me, you know. We got Kamala in there right now, you know. She earned the job, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, black folks don't need no handouts. That's kind of how I be looking at it. Like, you don't got to tell us that from the jump. Like, if we the most qualified for the job, we need to get it, like, period. Whoever it is, you know what I'm saying? And if someone beat me out for it, like, let me come back and be better for it the next time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's just part of, you know, competition and bringing out the best version of yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure it's like that with you too, even with, you know, acting jobs or things like that. Like, if you don't get something, you know, regardless, you know, we all know it's like prejudices in all of our fields, we know that. But I do think it's something that comes with not getting it, makes us go even harder for it. It's like, how can I network better? How can I present this better? How can I say this line or hit these punchlines or improv better? You know, to the point where they can't deny me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, yeah, that's just what I think of it. But it will be interesting.
Yeah.
See who gets picked.
You
should run. Y'all should run, actually.
Run what?
For Supreme Court Justice. Biden said there's going to be a black woman. We need someone in there we know.
Someone that doesn't know anything about what's going on, that's who you want in there? Because
I'm just saying, if y'all ran, I'd vote for it. Hey, Kanye running for president again.
Child, that's another story, child. But no, I won't be running. But I support black women who do.
Shout out to the black woman, man, on this Black History Month.
Shout out to black women on Black History Month.
Viola Davis would be a great person to play whoever gets the job, though.
Just immediately without knowing who it is.
I do love Viola Davis. She definitely in my top 5.
No,
I gotta round the rest of that one out. Like, I wanted to say,
who would be in there?
I don't know. Like, I feel like that's a strong top 3. Angela Bassett, Meryl Streep, and Viola Davis.
Who would be in there?
I don't think we'll be not in there for, because I had it when I had this conversation. I had a top 5, but I just don't remember. Because like I said, like Taraji's ill. I don't know. It's a bunch of people who good. I don't know.
Possibilities.
You should come up with it for the next one.
I will. I will. I'll know by then for sure.
All right. So our last story before we get to Black History Month. Probably the podcast god, Joe Rogan.
I've never heard a podcast of his.
You never heard what it is?
No.
Yeah. Well, he's something like I think he's the most. Not Mike. He's like the most viewed podcast in the world. Like I think it's like crazy. Like his numbers, I don't know. It's like 10 million followers per episode. I don't know. 10 million views per episode. Some wild shit. So he's one of the guys that kind of like started or blew up the whole, I guess not genre, but I guess the field of podcasting. Yeah. So basically, during this whole time, I've been listening to him the whole pandemic. And one thing I say about him, he's one of those people who's he doesn't allow it to be an echo chamber of thought. Like, what I mean by that, it's not going to be, he's not bringing on people who going to say the exact same thing for every episode. He wants to get conflicting views from every episode. He wants to hear from, say, the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers. You know what I'm saying? What's the validity of each of your statements? Why do you think this is true? Doctors who believe more so in it, and then ones who may not. So the thing now is that I guess there's been a lot of uproar because Spotify, I think, is the main distributor or the only distributor of his podcast. So some artists have started taking down their music to boycott him spreading information about COVID that might not be true. So his thing was, look, I'll get more people on here that, maybe like right after he said, because he does his own, similar to us, like he does his own scheduling. So it might not be an anti-vaxxer and then a vaxxer pro person right after each other. The vaxxer pro person might come 2 weeks later. So he said, maybe I can do a better job of getting those people lined up after each other for interviews so you can have the information right after each other. He said, but anything he does, he tries to correct it, he tries to base it in facts. He brings in doctors, people who know way more than him. He says, so, it's both sides of the perspective. And if it's just like, I'm not going with exactly what you're saying the day it comes out, and that information should be taken off, like you're doing all of us a disservice because information constantly changes. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's like the same thing like we was talking about before with like, free speech and being able to have conversations. Like it's important, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to talk to people who may not have the same viewpoints as you. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know exactly what he said that kind of sparked this, or was it?
No, I think it was just a list of things. Like I said, it was people.
It wasn't just one thing.
Yeah, it wasn't one people. It was like he bring people on that just was definitely against vaccination. And then it was like, he had listened to it. He had a good episode on there about the people who said, that ivermectin, that drug is like really good for stopping COVID, et cetera. And people didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just things like that. Like, so even people who are out here saying like, okay, like I'm using natural medicines or herbs and stuff to get over my cold. Like to some people that would be considered radical. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't have these systems set up where everybody got to agree with each other.
True.
You know what I mean? What's your first, this is our closing topic, what's your first memories of Black History Month?
My first memories of it?
Yeah. Was it at school?
I low-key, yeah. I feel like it definitely was at school. Just walking in the classroom, seeing it decorated with a whole bunch of beautiful black faces. I feel like that's like out of all the cloudiness that, you know what I mean? That I don't remember, I do remember that. Just everything being decorated, feeling celebrated. And then I remember feeling, I don't know, good and it was because you had those times too where it was just talking about a whole bunch of slavery in the class. And it was just all right, okay.
Yeah, no,
so it was definitely my memories of it are kind of like this, but mostly good though. I feel like
real shit. I just always remember you would have your little Martin Luther King celebration in January. And then you might have something for February, a little Black History Month celebration. You know, they're bringing the African drums and shit. Talking about Rosa Parks in there.
Kente Club.
Yeah, I used to be like, man.
Yeah.
I remember coming in there to class and I'd be like, man. Nigga, I know my history ain't starting no damn slave shit. I was like, this fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's that
was always the base of it. It's just
it's always fucked up, especially when you know better. It's because with dad and stuff like that, he'd be like, nah, I'm like, it was kings and queens in Africa. Da 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 da. It was like, yeah. Then you go to school and it's like slave shit. I was like, damn.
Slaves.
Yeah, I was like, can't learn about nobody, no Mansa Musa, no Nefertiti, or no type of shit.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, man. So that's I feel it was like a balance for me. This wasn't a Black History Month thing, but one of my funniest moments in school was that dealt with black people.
What?
I remember this one time we had walked in. This is when we went to a Christian school, a Highlands Christian school for elementary school, and Dad took me to class, or he walked me in. I don't know, I was late. You know how it would be. So I came in late, and then there was a picture on the wall, and then Dad was like, "Yo, who is this?" And I was like, "Oh man, that's Jesus." And it was a white picture. It was a white portrait of Jesus, and it was one that they had made. So it was they drew it, they colored it, and all that. It wasn't they had bought a picture. So he was like, "Oh, all right." He was like, "I'm finna go talk to your principal, man. Go to class." Yo, I kid you not. The next day I came to school, Jesus was brown, yo. They had recolored Jesus, man, made him brown. I was like, Pop's a real nigga.
For context, our father did not let me play with white baby dolls. Couldn't have a white baby doll. Couldn't play with a white baby doll. All my baby dolls was black. And I remember people hearing that.
Nappy-headed black doll.
Man, I remember people hearing that.
Nappy is not a negative thing.
Oh my God, your dad doesn't want you to play with white dolls. Are you okay at home? And I'm just like, yeah, it's just my dad. That's just how it is.
But I think it's important, even though it's Black History Month, we know you can't celebrate or fit black people into 1 month. It is important to see yourself. You know what I'm saying?
A fact.
It's definitely important to see yourself, and I think those 2 stories we just told definitely it means something. It helps build up self-confidence in you. And it's important to have at least some time set to the side where you can talk about your contributions. So I fuck with Black History Month, but we don't stop with the month. We celebrate black people through the year.
Cheers to what Kanye said. Black future, not even month.
You remember when Idris said that shit was you there? When we was at when we did the joint at Skyline, he was like, "No, we need a Black Future Month." I was like, I think my boy Kanye bit him. But they work together. So
vaguely do remember that now that you say that. Yeah, actually I do.
I can't wait to get my guy on here. That's going to be a good one. But shout out to Black History Month. Man, learn something about yourself this month. I appreciate all you black women in here. Shout out to all the black queens. You're not going to say it back? All right, that's
my bad.
You see, this is what we got to deal with. This is what we got to deal with. They was ready to let the show end.
Nah, but sometimes you just gotta celebrate the black woman without needing to be celebrated back all the time.
You know what? That's true. That is true. I'm gonna let you have that. And all I will say is, before I let you close it out, move forward in peace, tranquility, love, light. Underneath the sand, there are hidden jewels. And within those jewels is knowledge. Pyramids, black people's contributions that outnumber the stars in the universe. Love yourself and tell someone around you you love them.
I love you.
I love y'all.
That was beautiful, Ameer.
Ashe.
That was beautiful, Ameer. You always got something.
Hey, it's Black History Month. We had to start 2022 off right. That's our first episode. Real talk.
I agree.
It's up to you now.
It's up to you now. I will say this. Doesn't matter if you're across the street from a Whole Foods or a liquor store. It's always sunny in California. Hakuna Matata, niggas. Peace! Like that.